Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. In this video today I want to quickly share with you my daily diet, if you like. I've done a lot of research on diet because it becomes it's important at any age, but even more important sort of 45 plus. And the diet I've discovered after a fair amount of research, as I say, is one that optimizes my strength, muscle building, energy, but most importantly, probably for me, and most of probably people watching this, is my mental health and mood, if you like. It's not revolutionary, a lot of it. Some of it you'll know, maybe some of it you won't know, and you can take from it what you want to take from it, you know. And I know we all have different time constraints, and some of you out there be looking after families and stuff, and the timings might not suit you. And the thing is, though, with any change or investment into change, particularly as you're getting on in life and your habits may have been set for years. I mean, I was in, as you'll know from this channel, you know, I was in addiction for many years, grossly overweight, very depressed, you know, suicidal at some points, you know, awful. And coming out of the other side of that, you know, you realise how valuable life is, and you want to make the changes because maybe things happen in your life. For me, there was many things, but particularly the birth of my grandchildren, you know, and I wanted to invest in my future, and that becomes extremely important, obviously 45 onwards. I'm 63 now. The thing is, it's going to be uncomfortable. You know, you shouldn't be watching these videos. You're probably best to switch off now if you don't want to feel any discomfort, because you're going to have to make some sacrifices. It's like anything, isn't it? It's not handed to you on a plate. It's like recovering from addiction. It's like optimizing your health in any way, or optimizing your life, or setting goals and achieving them. You're gonna have to step out your comfort zone. You're gonna have to step through fear, and you're gonna have to feel that discomfort if you want it. And you really do have to want it. You know, there's no point in you even watching this if you don't really want to change. But then you look into the future and you see this investment you're making in yourself. And I'd rather be running around with my grandchildren, God willing, at 70 odd years old with energy to burn and wearing them out, than collapsed in an armchair feeling sorry for myself at 20 odd stone in weight, you know, waiting to die, if you like. So there's a choice, isn't there? You either wait to die and you're unhealthy, or you move forward and you do the best to invest in your health in some way. So my diet, as I say, and this won't, you know, some things you can alter and change, obviously. And the thing is with these videos, right, is we're not trying to be bodybuilders here. We're not trying to be jacked, or although, you know, to look good for you know, it's great for your self-esteem, obviously. But eating in that way to bulk up is quite unhealthy. You know, it's not something you can sustain, or I would recommend. But eating the way that I do, or including the things in the diet that I do, I know I'm optimizing my health, and at the same time maintaining a really good weight, energy and mental health. So, and also it's like with exercise, you're not going to do all of this at once. So don't, you know, try and cut all of this stuff out at once, and don't start with the exercise. You know, someone who goes and spends 9 hours in the gym, a whole day in a gym, will be much worse off than someone who's just 15 minutes or 20 minutes a day walking for the 7 days. Consistency is key with all these things. To be consistent, to do these things on a daily basis, at your own pace, you set your own goals, you cut things out as you want them, you exercise as you want to. It might be a month of walking for 15-20 minutes a day, getting used to the movement of your body and feeling those muscles working again before you're ready to step up to the next stage. And that's brilliant. The longer the better. As long as you're being consistent. It's far better to do some every day and fit it into your schedule than to punish yourself for 9 hours and not be able to move for the rest of the week, because that's just ridiculous, and you won't build muscle that way or fitness that way. You'll just injure yourself. So consistency is key, and that's the same with exercise, same with diet, same with goals, same with moving forward and getting stronger. So the first thing I would suggest is, though you've probably heard of intermittent fasting. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you're doing this straight away, But for me, I have my last meal, my evening meal, if you like, at 5 p.m. around about. Obviously, you may have to adjust that if you've got busy lives, families, jobs, whatever. And then I don't have anything else to eat. I just drink water or chamomile tea or something and sip that for in the evening time, basically. So then sleep, obviously, which is another video, which I'll do. And I don't break my fast, if you like, till around about 9 o'clock. I try and always go around about 16 hours on a fast, because it creates autophagy in your cells. So gets rid of all your bad cells. You burn them as energy. It's fantastic for longevity, for health, for immune health, for all sorts of many myriad of things, and for losing weight, obviously, and turning up. So that's that. So I'll break the fast with this. Now, this looks horrible. I don't blame you for thinking that. But I have this every morning at 9 o'clock. I break my fast with it, and I'll tell you what's in it. It looks horrible, but it tastes lovely, actually, because there's plenty of fruit in there. But there's a lot of green in there as well. So I exercise in the morning. So I aim to get in during a whole day. There's a school of thought, as I said in our last video, that you should have a gram of protein for every pound of body weight if you want to build muscle. And that's not true, because I know I've read much research on this. If you're a bodybuilder and you're eating in that way and you really want to get massive and jacked, then fair enough. They do that amount of protein. It's not really healthy, in my opinion. If you want to build strong muscle and you're 50 plus and you want to look good and be healthy, then I aim for around 100 to 120 grams of protein a day. It's normally around 100, 110 to be fair. If I work out a lot, then sometimes I'll go up to 120. And that sounds like quite a lot of protein, but split over a whole day, as long as you spread it. They say every time you work out, you should, for muscle repair, and I'm talking about even whatever sort of working out you do, even walking to repair muscles that you have not used before. Small tears will be created. That's how muscles grow when they repair. Then you need 20 to 30 grams-ish of protein, either just before you exercise or just after your exercise. Well, within an hour to 2 hours after you've exercised. Varies on the person, obviously. But I aim to get in 100 to 110 grams. So in this shake in the morning, because I exercise in the morning, there's about 30 grams of protein. And the way I get that is there's a handful of kale. These are all washed in bags, so there's no need to be buying preps. I get the stuff from the supermarket, spinach and kale, the washed stuff in bags. So a big handful of spinach, big handful of kale. I put some frozen peas in there. You may wonder why, but it's vitamin C and protein in the peas, pea protein. Then I put in a couple of handfuls of frozen blueberries. So I buy the blueberries fresh and freeze them, and raspberries and bananas, and straight in the freezer when I bought them. So 2 handfuls of blueberries and raspberries mixed up, and then half to a whole, depends on the size of the banana, frozen in there as well. Then a couple of handfuls of pumpkin seeds, which are amazing for omega of all sorts, and protein, loads of protein in pumpkin seeds, magnesium, which is so necessary for general health and whatever. So that goes in, and then I put in chia seeds, which are excellent for omegas and for protein again, and energy. So probably a couple of tablespoons of chia seeds. And then I put some peanut protein powder in, a couple of spoonfuls of that. And then top up with some almond milk, sort of halfway up with almond milk, halfway up with water. And then whiz it basically, and in my blender. And that's what it comes out like. And there's around about 30 to 35 grams of protein in that. And the thing is with eating protein throughout the day, and less carbohydrate, which I'll come on to in a minute, it keeps you satiated. You don't get any hunger pangs, you don't get any, this is after a while, obviously your body having to get used to it. You don't get any sugar spikes up and down, mood spikes. It just keep you energized and keeps you feeling full for a longer period of time. It's perfect. So I drink that, and then I'll do my workout, which is another video which will be coming. Then at lunchtime, probably around about 1:30ish, I'll eat a 3-egg omelette. So proper farm, you know, free range eggs if possible. Again, for the protein, this gives you about 25-30 grams of protein, or maybe a bit more depending on if you put cheese in. So I have a 3-egg omelette with mushrooms, spinach sprinkled in, and cheese, and that's all. That's just eat that for my lunch. This is all washed down with copious amounts of water. Never juice or anything like that. You know, just water generally during the day. Trying to get in about 3 litres, 3.5 litres, which helps all of these things happen to your body and keeps you hydrated for the whole day and full of energy. For the evening meal, then that is generally can be quite boring to start with, because I like to, consistency is key. So I eat the same meal for quite a while, but I do a bit of variation now. But generally, just to give you an example, I'll get brown rice, about 150 grams of brown rice or quinoa or something along those sort of lines, a complex carbohydrate, with peas, broccoli, mushrooms, sauteed garlic, and then I'll have with that a chicken breast of around about 200 grams, 250 grams, and that meal will give me 50 or 60 grams of protein and a decent amount of complex carbohydrates. And those 3 meals basically are the smoothie, then the omelette, and then that are the basis of my day, washed down with copious amounts of water, and that gives me all the energy I need. It probably gives me around about, I would say, 2,500 calories. I'm now 13 and a half, 14 stone in weight. The most important thing is the things I've cut out. This is the uncomfortable bit. So these don't no longer play any part in my diet at all, in any shape or form. And people say, well, you can't, we have to pay, it's the cost of living crisis and all the rest of it, and totally understand that. But I find it a lot cheaper to be buying the fresher, if I shop around, the fresh products than processed products. So I've cut out all processed products, basically. Anything that's ultra processed is gone from the diet. Now, the thing is, with the 3 things I'm going to talk about now, which are processed foods, gluten, and sugar, you don't try and cut them all 3 out at once, because there was no one with a sweeter tooth than me. There was no one that liked bread more than me. And there was no one that liked shitty junk food more than me. Trust me, it formed a massive part of my diet for many years. So I didn't try and cut them out all at once. There's a video on the channel. If you subscribe, like, and share the videos, it just helps 1 or 2 more people see them, on sugar addiction and how to cut sugar out. I think that probably, I thought that was going to be the hardest. It was the one I did first. And it is bloody hard, because sugar, in all its forms, stimulates the same chemicals and the same reactions that drugs and alcohol do in your brain. The thing is, that's why you're seeking sugar all the time for comfort. Nothing has a greater impact on low mood, anxiety. Now, I'm not talking about clinical depression or mental illness and all that, because obviously if you have those things, you need to see a professional person, and you're probably going to need medication. But I'm talking about generalized anxiety, generalized low mood, low energy. 90% of the time is caused by sugar, too much sugar in the diet. The only way to stop that is to cut it out altogether. I'll tell you what, you'll have a withdrawal for 3 or 4 days. It won't be pleasant if you eat a lot of sugar, that is. However, at the end of that, you won't crave it anymore. After a meal, I had to have something sweet. During the day, my sugar levels were up and down, up and down. Of course, you get that, and then you eat it, and then you have a massive dip in energy and mood, and it's just the worst possible thing for you. It causes all sorts of illnesses in the body, massive inflammation all over the body. It just makes you unwell. So that's the first thing that went. Processed foods was the next thing that went. Again, that was tricky, but then once I focused on what I was going to eat generally in a day or include during a day, because, you know, as long as I got that amount of protein and cut back on my carbohydrates, just that complex carbohydrates, and the certain types of fruit I included, which were blueberries, obviously are really good, banana is really good, but a lot of the other fruits are full of fructose and sugar, so you know, that I included a lot more of the good stuff in my diet, and the processed stuff went, basically. I spend less now than I used to before, because there's no more takeaways or junk food or anything like that, so for me it was better. And finally, the hardest part of all, actually, which snuck up on me, was bread, gluten. I never really used to believe in sort of gluten intolerance and the reaction to gluten. And it's not everyone that suffers from these things. But I did notice that whenever I ate bread, then I'd always feel swollen and lacking energy. And so I cut it out, and then I reintroduced it. And sure enough, when I cut it out, I felt better. When I reintroduced it, I felt crap. So it went. So anything with gluten in it, or bread, anything processed with gluten in it, it's gone from the diet. So those three things, you know, which were the sugar, the processed, the gluten, have all gone. The other stuff I've included. Consistency, day in, day out, those type of meals. Now, obviously, the chicken and the stuff like that can be replaced with lean, good piece of salmon, whatever sort of meat you want to. Red meat's okay now and again, as long as you're not eating it every single day. That's just my opinion, by the way. You know, as long as you're a lean protein, fish of any sort is really good. But that type of thing, and changing your complex carbohydrates as well, so it doesn't become boring, and your veggies, your green veggies. And that way I find if I include those, have that diet every day, I'm getting all the minerals, polyphenols, you know, macronutrients, everything I need to exercise hard and have energy throughout the day, no dips, I sleep better at night, my anxiety's gone, my mental health's much better. And that's where, you know, and then you can fine tune it for however you want to then, basically. So that's a bit about my diet, and as I say, don't try and do everything all at once. This is the message from all of these videos. But the time's come to make an investment in your future. You know, you can either sit back, like I say, in an armchair and just wait to die, or you can make a physical and mental change and become stronger and better. Carpe Diem, seize the day today. Please subscribe, like and share the videos. Much love to you. Bye-bye.